Welcome back to another episode of Whether or Not. I'm your host, Austin Long, here with our forecaster, Gavin Sandel. And Gavin, we've had a pretty rainy week here in State College. Does that look like it's going to continue here into the weekend?
Well, you're absolutely right. It has been abysmal this week if you are a sun lover. But I do have good news for you guys. It should look pretty good heading into the weekend. Friday, it might be a little bit of a wintry mess, I'll say. We'll see winter's last gasp, but Saturday into Sunday should look pretty good.
I've heard we got an eclipse coming up on Monday, too. What are the conditions looking like for that?
Yeah, the biggest eclipse in really our lifetimes. The last time the eclipse has happened was 7 years ago. I'll keep the weather for our extended forecast, but I wouldn't say it's going to be as much rain as we've seen this week.
Oh, great. All right, let's head into our Nature in the News.
Taiwan was rocked by its strongest earthquake in 25 years on Wednesday. The magnitude 7.4 earthquake was centered just south of the coastal city of Hualien and has so far killed 6, with over 70 still missing. The quake struck just after 8 a.m. local time, and the epicenter was about 22 miles under the surface, which is quite shallow compared to other earthquakes. Both facts mean that more people were exposed to the quake. In the city of Hualien, photos have circulated on social media showing buildings either leaning or toppled due to the shock's magnitude. Initially, tsunami warnings were also called, though they were quickly canceled. A wave measuring about a foot above normal was measured on the southern coast of Japan. Taiwan is on a convergent boundary between two tectonic plates and an infamous Pacific Ring of Fire, which is a hotbed location for earthquakes. Though the island nation regularly sees earthquakes, the last time the country experienced one of that magnitude was back in 1999 when a 7.6 magnitude shock devastated the country.
Climate change is starting to alter how humans keep time. A leap second is a mechanism used since 1972 to reconcile official time from atomic clocks with that based on Earth's unstable speed of rotation. Researchers have predicted that melting ice caps are slowing Earth's rotation to such an extent that the next leap second will be delayed by 3 years. Global warming looks to push back the need for another leap second from 2026 to 2029. Leap seconds actually tend to cause more problems than solutions when it comes to computing the official time, and scientists have become so perturbed with them that they plan on removing them, but not until 2035. The next leap second is especially dreaded due to the fact that it will most likely be a skip second rather than adding one. Meteorologists anticipated that leap seconds would rarely be added because of the scale on millions of years Earth's spin is fluctuating. However, with ice caps melting due to climate change, Earth's spin is slowing, and these leap seconds are needed every few years to keep our clocks synchronized. There is hope that once people realize we are losing time, that climate change activism will expand in hopes to reclaim our lost time.
The upcoming solar eclipse has taken the country by storm leading up to its occurrence next Monday. But what else is on tap in the sky? Well, the sky is dark during totality. 4 planets in our solar system will be visible. Jupiter can be seen to the upper left of the sun, while Saturn, Venus, and Mars are further down to the right if one looks at the sun. The night sky will also be active with meteors and comets as well during the month of April. The Lyrid meteor shower will peak between April 21st and 22nd, though the moon's full phase at that time will make the shooting stars tougher to see by the naked eye. Additionally, Comet 12P will be approaching its best view this month. The comet, which is made of remains of the solar system's formation, can form a glowing coma or ring around it, giving the viewer good colors as it makes its transit across space. The comet will be visible during the eclipse, but will make its closest approach to the sun on April 21st.
A new side of an exoplanet has just been uncovered. One side of the planet, called Super-Earth LHS 3844b, was confirmed to have a permanent dark side. The planet has a feature called tidal synchronization, or one-to-one tidal locking, that prohibits a normal day-night cycle. When a planet orbits very close to its star, its near side experiences a much stronger pull than its far side does. Over time, the imbalance, called a tidal force, is thought to slow the planet's rotation until it is in perfect synchrony with its orbit. This means that the time taken for the planet to rotate once on its axis is the same as that needed for it to travel once around its star. Many exoplanets are thought to be one-to-one tidally locked on account of their close proximity to their host star, but that status is difficult to prove. Measuring an exoplanet's orbit is straightforward. Pinning down its rotation is much harder, especially if the planet has an atmosphere that obscures its spinning surface from view. This perfect rotation leads to one side completely in light while the other is covered in darkness. With the hunt for life across the universe and a potentially new habitable home for humans, scientists say that these planets are highly unlikely candidates for both possibilities. There is still hope that there is a planet that could contain both possibilities, perhaps outside of the Milky Way.
Like I said in the beginning, when it's come to the rain, it's been an abysmal week. We had 2.12 inches on the 2nd of April, which is actually a state college record for that day. But heading into the weekend, we will see some nice conditions, except Friday. This is the back end of the mess that we are going to see on this week. And that's all because of the low pressure system that's just been meandering over our area. Will finally drift out into the Atlantic Ocean, where it will kind of develop into a nor'easter type storm. There will be a lot of rain heading onto the coast, more so Long Island into the Cape, and the I-95 corridor will see a lot of rain. But in more so interior New England, they'll see a nice heavy dumping of snow. And then in our area, we'll start with some morning snow showers, and then maybe transitioning into the afternoon with some rain showers. That's why I have us in the mix. And some backside, if you're heading west, they might places in Ohio might see some rain, though heading cool that way. It'll all go out of our area on Saturday as that low pressure system finally drifts its way off into the Atlantic, weakening as a result. There might still be some rain showers in the I-95 corridor on the places that I said yesterday, but it will remain nice here in State College, more so a mostly cloudy day. And then Sunday, as that high pressure system starts to really build in our area, that's when it'll be a sunny day, the pick of the weekend, where it'll be nice and warm, temperatures seasonable into the 50s. So we'll go back to the poor weather for a second. Friday, the high will be 44, which isn't really conducive to any snow, but it will start out in the morning as snow. Winter's last gasp, as I said at the beginning as well. 35 degrees is your forecast on Friday night with that precipitation tapering off. Though heading into Saturday, we'll finally see the sun that we really haven't seen all week, and those clouds will be decreasing at 47. 33, just above the freezing mark, will be your low for Saturday, where it'll be brisk, but the temperatures will shoot right back up on Sunday, where it'll be a very nice seasonable 56 degrees. Madison Olms has a feature on the upcoming solar eclipse.
It's not very often that the sunlight goes away in the middle of the day, but it's something to look forward to as totality quickly approaches. On Monday, April 8th, the North American total solar eclipse will be taking place across parts of Mexico, the United States, and Canada. The eclipse will begin over the South Pacific Ocean. The first North American location that will experience totality is Mexico's Pacific coast. Totality is when the shadow of the moon, the inner black circle called the umbra, is complete. The moon's shadow is projected onto the Earth's surface. The eclipse path will continue from Mexico and enter the United States through Texas. The path will pass over portions of the Great Plains, the South, Midwest, and the Northeast in states such as Oklahoma, Arkansas, Illinois, and Pennsylvania. After passing through the United States, the path will enter Canada in southern Ontario and exit continental North America on the Atlantic coast of Newfoundland. The start of totality in North America will be at 11:07 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time and will end at 5:16 p.m. Newfoundland Daylight Time. Between 1901 and 2000, there had been 228 eclipses all over the world, 71 of which were total eclipses. 78 of those were partial eclipses, which is when the moon's partial shadow travels over the Earth. Although solar eclipses seem to be rare events, there have been years that have had multiple eclipses. There have been 79 years that had 2 eclipses, but only one year has had 5 eclipses, and that was in 1935. A very rare occurrence is multiple solar eclipses in the same month. That happened once in July 2000, on July 1st, and July 31st. Solar eclipses can vary in duration. The longest total solar eclipse that has occurred was 7 minutes and 8 seconds long on June 20th, 1955. The shortest total solar eclipse was 40 seconds long and occurred on September 22, 1968. During the solar eclipse, temperatures dropped due to the temporary loss of sunlight. About 30 to 60 minutes before totality is when temperatures begin to drop. They remain relatively low after the eclipse, but begin to rebound as the sun returns. Temperature gradients caused by an eclipse cool down can spawn a few clouds and potentially even pop up thunderstorms. An area in totality will turn cooler due to the darkness, while an adjacent location outside of the path will remain warmer, with some sunlight still affecting surface temperatures. While waiting to experience this phenomenon, it's important to make safety a top priority. Permanent eye damage can happen when looking at the sun, even during an eclipse. When the sun is not yet fully eclipsed, viewers should wear eclipse glasses or use a partial solar viewer to see the partial eclipse phases before and after totality. The only time the sun can be viewed without eye protection is when the moon completely obscures the sun's bright face, during the brief period of totality. It's safe to remove eye protection when no part of the sun can be seen through eclipse glasses or a solar viewer. Approximately 31 million people live in the path of totality, and many more will flock to the same locations to see the total solar eclipse. This is an opportunity to see something that won't touch North America again until March 2033. Don't wait to witness this spectacular sight. It will be years before it happens again. The North American total solar eclipse will be one for the books as it sweeps over 3 countries.
So I said at the end of the weekend we'll have some beautiful conditions, but how will it hold up for the great solar eclipse on Monday? Let's take it back through the weekend. Friday will be our mess of the day. 44 degrees will be your high. We'll start with some snow, but then we'll end off with some rain as it tapers off into Friday night. Saturday, that precipitation will fully be moved out. We'll have a decent day here, temperature-wise, a little bit below average, but we'll have mostly cloudy conditions with a high of just 47. Sunday looks to be the best day of the weekend. Nice and seasonable, 56 degrees will be your high for that day. And that really comes to mind the eclipse on Monday, the day after Sunday. As I'm showing you the path right now, the line of totality isn't quite in State College. We're just going to be at 95.5% coverage. But if you head northwest, that's when you'll get to see that 100% totality, something that everybody wants to see. And what does that mean for the weather? Well, a high pressure system will be parked above the upstate New York region, which usually means good. However, a low-pressure system is right on its heels behind, and the rain is going to start to move in as you go into Monday. So if you're heading west to see the eclipse, it might not be the best time to do that. State College is kind of in the middle of that little intermission period where they're not going to see rain, but they're not going to be completely sunny. I'm going to say my pick is probably going to be mostly cloudy. You'll see a little bit of sun. And as you go into New England, it'll be probably the best area in the Northeast to see the eclipse. And really, conditions-wise, Monday will be the best pick of the week with some sun, as we will see some rain heading into Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. But temperature-wise, it'll be much warmer heading into the latter half of the week. And Austin, precipitation really reminds me of the quiz question for this week.
Yeah, let's take a look and see how 2024 March's precipitation stacked up here. Our quiz question today was, what was the total amount of precipitation in March recorded this year? Was it A, 1.73 inches, B, 2.65 inches, C, 3.64 inches, or D, 5.12 inches? And if you said C, 3.64 inches, you would be correct. That's very close to average for this time of year, actually, for March.
Yeah, just right above average, right?
Yeah, correct. Average is 3.33.
Sounds good.
Thanks for watching another episode of Whether or Not. We will see you next week.